Welcome back to the Latin Code, the podcast where we decode the biological mysteries of the natural world. Today, we are performing a deep dive into a creature that defies almost every mammalian rule, the naked mole rat, or Heterocephalus glaber. To truly understand this animal, we have to look at where it fits in the tree of life. Let's walk through its full biological classification, from the kingdom all the way down to the species. Kingdom, Animalia. They are multicellular, eukaryotic organisms. Phylum, Chordata. They possess a dorsal nerve cord. Class, Mammalia. While they are unique for being thermoconformers, effectively cold-blooded animals that track ambient temperatures, they are still mammals that nurse their young. Order, Rodentia. They are members of the rodent order and hold the record for being the longest-lived rodents, with lifespans exceeding 37 years. Suborder, Hystricomorpha. This group includes porcupine-like rodents. Infraorder, Hystricognathi, a further specification within their suborder. Parvorder, Phyomorpha. This clade contains African Hystricognath rodents. Superfamily, Bathyrgomorpha, the group encompassing all African mole rats. Family, Heterocephalidae. While they were once grouped with other mole rats in the family Bathyrgidae, recent genetic and fossil evidence shows they diverged over 31 million years ago, leading researchers to place them in this unique family. Genus, Heterocephalus. This name is derived from Latin and translates to different head, which refers to their unique skull morphology and the large protruding teeth they use for digging. Species, Heterocephalus glaber, also known as the sand puppy. They are the only species within their genus.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into one of the planet's most bizarre, most fascinating, and honestly, most rule-breaking creatures out there, the naked mole rat. Okay, get this. What if I told you there's a mammal out there that's pretty much cold-blooded, like a lizard, that it's almost completely immune to cancer, and it lives in a colony ruled by a single queen, just like an ant? I know, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but it is absolutely real. So let's meet Heterocephalus glaber. This is a tiny rodent that basically seems to defy the laws of biology, all from its home in these huge underground networks in Africa. And in this explainer, we are going to find out exactly what makes this animal such a magnificent weirdo.
So, where do you even start with an animal this strange? Well, you got to start with its family tree, because figuring out where it fits, or maybe more importantly, where it doesn't fit, that's what gives us our first big set of clues.
At first glance, its classification seems pretty straightforward, right? It's in the class Mammalia, so yep, it's a true mammal. And it's in the order Rodentia, so okay, it's a rodent. But then you get to that last step. It's all alone, sitting in a taxonomic family of one, Heterocephalida. Now that is a huge biological red flag, basically screaming that this animal is something else entirely.
And right away we hit our first major rule break. You know how most mammals, us included, work really hard to keep a constant internal body temperature? Well, the naked mole rat just doesn't. It's a thermoconformer. All that means is its body temperature just goes with the flow of its surroundings. So, for all intents and purposes, it's a cold-blooded mammal. How weird is that?
So you have to ask, how did it get so different? Well, it's been on its own evolutionary path for a very, very long time. We're talking about its ancestors splitting off from their closest relatives over 31 million years ago. That is an almost unimaginable amount of time to just be on your own, evolving in isolation and cooking up all these unique traits.
You know what's funny? Even its scientific name basically screams that it's an outsider. Heterocephalus comes from Latin, and it pretty much translates to different head, and that's a direct nod to its totally bizarre skull and those massive teeth that stick out for digging. Its weirdness is literally baked right into its name.
But this long, lonely evolutionary journey didn't just change its body. Oh no, it completely tore up the rule book on how mammals are supposed to act. This is where things get really wild, and we see the mammal that basically became an ant.
So get this, the naked mole rat is the first mammal ever found to be eosocial. Now that's just a fancy scientific term for that super organized caste-based society you see in insects, right? Like bees and ants. To find this kind of structure in a mammal, Well, it was an absolutely groundbreaking discovery. Just think for a second about a typical mammal, say a wolf. They live in packs, and you've got multiple females who can have pups. Simple enough. Now let's look at the naked mole rats. They live in these massive underground colonies, sometimes with up to 300 individuals, and every single one of them serves a single queen. And this queen actually chemically suppresses the fertility of all the other females. I mean, for a mammal, that is a completely alien social system.
But look, if you think their social life is strange, you haven't seen anything yet. Their next biological trick is, well, it's almost beyond belief. We're about to look at how this tiny animal seems to be cheating death itself.
Okay, just let this number sink in for a second. 37 years, and counting. That makes this little, wrinkly creature the longest-lived rodent on the entire planet. To put that in perspective, it outlives its relatives of a similar size by like a factor of 10. It's incredible.
But here's the kicker. It's not just about how long they live, it's how they age, or more accurately, how they don't. For a naked mole rat, the risk of dying just doesn't go up as it gets older. A 30-year-old has the exact same chance of dying in any given year as a 2-year-old. That physical decline we all associate with old age, for them, it just doesn't happen.
There's a scientific term for this incredible superpower, negligible senescence. And all it really means is that the whole process of physical breakdown that makes things weaker and more likely to die as they get old, a fundamental rule for pretty much all life on Earth, it just doesn't seem to apply to them. They're an exception to one of life's biggest rules.
So the question is, how on earth is that even possible? What's the secret to their apparent eternal youth? Well, it turns out the key to defying the aging process is something scientists are desperately trying to understand, a nearly perfect resistance to cancer.
Here's how they do it. Their bodies produce this special, kind of supersized version of a substance called high molecular weight hyaluronan. The molecule is 5 times bigger than the version we have in our bodies, and it creates this really sensitive web around their cells. The second any cells start to multiply out of control, this network just shuts them down, stopping tumors before they can even get started. It's like a built-in anti-cancer shield.
Okay, let's just recap for a second. We have a cold-blooded, cancer-proof, insect-like mammal. What else could there possibly be? Well, it turns out they also have a whole suite of other superpowers, each one perfectly designed for their extreme life underground. Think about it. Living in crowded, low-oxygen tunnels means a ton of carbon dioxide builds up. For most animals, that would cause this painful, burning, acidic feeling in their tissues, but not for the naked mole rat. They are completely insensitive to the pain of acid. And just as a weird little bonus, they also can't feel the burn from capsaicin, the chemical that makes chili peppers hot.
And this might be their most shocking survival feat of all. If you or I were deprived of all oxygen, our brains would suffer damage in just minutes. A naked mole rat, it can survive for a full 18 minutes in a zero-oxygen environment with zero brain damage. How? They do it by completely switching up their metabolism to function like a plant, a trick that is literally unheard of in any other mammal on Earth.
So what's the big takeaway here? After looking at all these biological rules just being shattered, what are the lessons we can actually learn from this little rebel?
There's a saying that goes something like, the most alien creatures on Earth are sometimes the ones living right beneath our feet, and the naked mole rat is just the perfect proof of that. It's this profound reminder that life can and will find solutions in ways we never ever thought possible, breaking rules that we once thought were absolute. I mean, studying this one little creature has opened up entire new fields of research into aging, into cancer resistance, and into surviving extreme conditions. And it leaves us with this really inspiring question. If one strange little rodent can teach us all of this, what other biological miracles are still out there, just waiting for us to find them?